So today I'm going to use the Nikon ZF. I haven't used it for a while on the channel, so I figured I'd bring it back out. I use this camera all the time for work. I love it that much. Anyway, I'm using the 40 f2. I just wanted something lightweight and small. My favorite setup in the world is this Wotancraft bag. Like, I can't believe how long I've been using this without stopping. I love the bag that much. It's just the perfect bag. Now, I'm using the ZF with the 40 and I have the 28 in here as well. And my full flash system, that's the other part of this. So the other day I showed you these Zeniko remotes that they just come out with. I love these things. I've been playing with them quite a bit, but I wanted to show them to you on a shoot so you can actually see if they're reliable, how well they do. But for an off-camera flash, this is great. It's tiny. Okay, we're going to use it outside in midday sun. Another thing is, I have the two of them. I always have two so I can like switch off in case the battery goes. I've just never had that problem before. But I'm going to throw one on the camera as well so I have a 2-light setup. This is perfect. I'll keep this one at a lower power and bump this one up if I need more power on it. And that's going to be my whole setup today. Anyway, I can't wait to get into the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below. Let's see how these Zeniko remotes and Zeniko flashes do in a real world setting. You guys know how much I love shoots like this. Okay, they're the little flashes. They're the Zeniko flashes, and these are the remotes. These remotes can be set to receiver or transceiver, so you can't really mix them up. You just flip the switch. They're easy to use, and they're really small and lightweight. I love them. Now, this first setting here, this is an issue because the sun is just too bright on her face. It's blown out on that cheek, and I can't bring it down far enough. And these don't work in high-speed sync. So, I'm limited. Here's one without the flash, and you can see just how harsh it is without the flash. The flash adds a little bit. It helps a little bit, pulls up those shadows, but it's not going to be, I can't make the camera settings enough to pull it down the sun on her face and then to still fill in with such a lightweight flash. So I'm going to move her into a little bit of a shaded area here. It's still really bright. But this is going to help fill it in. I still have some speckling on her face, but it's a lot less. You see on the cheek there, I have that highlight, but I was able to pull it down because it wasn't quite as harsh. So these things work great. Now, the one on the camera, the flash on the camera is at 1. I have it at that 1 dot. It's 1 out of 5 dots you can set this to. That's the power levels. And the one I'm holding, I'm keeping around 3 or 4. I never went to a full 5 power on this. I kept it at 3 or 4 through this whole shoot. Now I'm going to show you some of the photos without flash and then the adjustments. For this one, I opened it up 3.5. Now, that's the other thing. I'm going to show you some of the settings, but I'm only going to show them to you when they change. If the settings change, then I'll show them to you. Like that one there was at f3.5. But I wanted a little bit more of that background in, so I put it up to f2.8 and just step back a little bit. Rather than adjusting the power in the flash, if I just step back, it's obviously going to be less. But anyway, just keep an eye out on the left. The only time you'll see the settings is if I change them. Whether it usually is just the f-stop, because I kept it at ISO 100 and 1/250th of a second throughout the shoot. The only thing I did change was the f-stop when I needed to, because of the area, the sun, the brightness, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, very, very simple to use. And, it doesn't take a lot to use these. Again, everybody's environment is going to be different. But if you start off at a starting point of that on-camera flash, if you're going to use one, you don't really need to. But if you're going to use one, set it at power 1. Power 2 if you really have to, if you're really trying to, pull out some shadows. And the one you're holding, start it at power 3 and maybe go to power 4. Power 3, I don't have any issues with the recycling. Power 4, a little bit slower, but power 5, you're going to wait a little bit for it to recycle. Maybe 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds. But it actually is pretty quick, to be honest. It's not a majorly powerful flash, but it's giving a lot here. It's definitely providing enough light for me to do the photos. And there's some really cool photos in here that I absolutely love. I don't care about the harshness. I really don't think it's that bad. Because we are, bringing the ambient light and just filling with these, I don't have to worry about a harsh, bright strobe. I want to make these things look natural. Now here I switched to f2.8 just to work with the environment that we're in. We're not in direct sunlight. It was just, the perfect, because the building around her, it's all white and everything. So that's acting as a reflector everywhere. So I'm getting, really good light on her. And these flashes just give that little extra pop. It's not quite as flat or dead with the flash. I'm getting that pop. And as you can see, I mean, even with the on camera set to one and me hand holding the other one, it's not a flat image. I'm getting shadowing on her face because I'm relying on the ambient light more than I'm relying on the flash. Uh, anyway, here's the thing. These things are very inexpensive, I would say. Like, I think they're really inexpensive. I remember a long, long time ago, somebody came out with the tiniest little hot shoe remote. And then there was this, bigger part that I used in studio. It was before the technology they have today, but it was very, very cool. It took a button cell in it. It was a sliver of a thing. I've been looking for them ever since because I loved them so much. It was so tiny, but I couldn't find them. So having these like this, I think is such a treat. And we're living in a really good age for flash photography and this kind of tools, because we're getting images like this off of little pocket lights. I mean, the whole lighting setup, two lights, two two remotes, they fit in your pocket. I mean, you can't beat that. It's exciting to me. And I show a lot of flash on this channel because I just love flash. I love light. Well, so far this shoot has been fantastic, and this thing hasn't missed. Like, I did not have one misfire yet. Now again, I'm going to repeat this because it's really important. When you're shooting a manual flash, setting aperture priority or auto ISO just doesn't work, because the camera is just going to ignore the flash. Unless it's TTL or specifically made for the camera, it won't recognize it. In other words, if I'm using a Nikon flash on this or a Godox made for Nikon, it'll be recognized in manual mode. But a straight manual flash, the one-pin flash, will never be recognized. So you have to shoot in manual, set your ISO, set your aperture, set your shutter speed. Right now I'm shooting at 2/50th of a second. I'm around f2.2 to 2.8, and I went down to 3.4. Yeah, I'll actually leave for once, I will leave the information on the images, but it's working great. And I'm really happy with the setup. This tiny little setup, you wouldn't believe that this much light can come out of these tiny flashes. Anyway, let's get back to the shoot. Now, I just want to explain myself just a little bit. By the way, this area was so bright because of the wall. I took it down to f6.3 because I was getting just so much light. But you'll see, I'm going to, show the figures on each one. But what I'm saying by manual flash, like a single pin manual flash, these little Zenikos and the IM series from Godox, they're just straight manual. The camera can't talk to them at all. The camera can just set them off. So it doesn't even recognize that you have a flash on your camera. So if it doesn't recognize it, it can't set auto ISO or anything else. So that's why you should shoot in manual when you're shooting with a manual flash like this, because you won't get images that are worthwhile. This area down here was so dark. Like, it was just brutally dark. So I went to f2 for these. It was doing a good job, but I took the flash up to power 4 in the handheld one, and you can see how bright it is. It's doing a great job, but yeah, I just needed that extra power. Now, when I saw this section over here, I shot here before a long, long time ago, but she surprised me. She went right up on the rails. And when I saw that, I'm like, I had, these pictures envisioned in my head. I don't know if I really captured them as much or as good as I wanted to, but this is the first time I'm actually showing some, like artistic edited type photos, which are coming up. But I mean, here I am at f2. I want to show you what it looks like without the flash, because it was dark down here. And I'm at power 4 on the main, and I moved up to power 2 on the on-camera flash. Now, I just played with these images because I really wanted to see what I can do with them. I wanted just a unique look because of the space that we're in. I thought it was kind of cool, so I figured, let's play with a couple of these and show them on YouTube for a change, because I never show any kind of edits whatsoever. So, I mean, I show the regular edits with maybe some skin retouching and some contrast or something like that, but nothing ever major. So I just wanted to play and have fun. And this is what I come up with. I don't know if I like them or not, but I always save the original images just in case. But I think they're kind of unique and kind of fun. But here's the thing: to be able to create this kind of image with this kind of flash, that's a lot of fun. I mean, I just like every time I looked at it, I go, okay, yeah, I can get that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this shoot. I really had a lot of fun with this. I just wanted to show, this is the very first time I did a video clip with the ZF. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll leave the links for these lights in the description.